misandrous, I'm a feminazi, I'm a communist, I have an Oedipus complex. I must be really, really, really fucking evil.
As a transgender person, male to female.
You're gonna hate me.
I'm afraid of the day when I will get beaten up by the Philadelphia police.
Right now.
This is the life of ADF. After ADF moved into her new accommodation, she was soon joined by her new girlfriend, a 45-year-old trans woman called Victoria. Victoria lived in ADF's accommodation permanently, despite the lease only allowing guests for 2 weeks. And it was said that she slept on the bed while ADF often slept on the sofa, despite ADF being the one who owned the bed. Now having access to ADF's address, Kiwi Farms users started sending them packages, including one containing elephant fecal matter. ADF responded to this in a video.
So apparently something of a biological nature came in the mail for me today. What appears to be fecal matter. Here, have a look. The actual thing is still in its package. I intercepted it and I have gloves on, so somebody sent actual feces in the mail to me today. So I don't know what's going on here, and I have a conclusion that it's my Gamergate and Kiwi Farm stalker. So at this point, you know, I need to get ready for that one package that could be fake anthrax, that one package that could be, you know, very suspect. You know, I'm dealing with cyberbullying / cyber terrorism. So, for lack of a better word, I now have more of a reason to apply for my firearms permit, because this is getting ridiculous. I get stable housing and I'm still going to be bullied like this.
They also later sent ADF a Bible and a potato, which ADF filmed herself attacking with a knife.
Since Kiwi Farms are a bunch of fucking cowards and they don't want to send their fedora assholes to my apartment, and instead will just send foodstuffs and biological waste for the mail, here's a little warning if you plan to send an actual person to my apartment. Have at me. Have at me.
She also filmed herself burning a piece of mail that was allegedly sent by Christian, saying, "I didn't bother to open it. Racist white trans girls aren't worth my time." Around this time, she posted a video about how she was expecting top surgery.
Yesterday, I went to Outside In and I started the referral process for breast augmentation surgery. I will be going under the knife probably within the next 4 to 5 months if everything goes according to plan. I'm obviously going to have to temporarily quit smoking before they operate on me, so I'm going to get a boob job. I'm going to get better at my vape clouds. Going to get better at expectorating. So 2017 will be filled with at least 1 or 2 surgeries. Let's see, what else is happening next year? With that, there's a second surgery. Sorry, my brain's kind of fried right now. I had 3 bowls before I went live. putting away that cigarette for later. I'm not gonna kill the whole thing. So 2017, I'll have probably 2 surgeries. The breast augmentation, hopefully to a C breast, and vaginoplasty. Two white people just like walked by me right now. Kind of looked at me a little bit, looked back at them. Obviously, they don't often see Latinas, like, you know, trans Latinas, you know, chilling and taking a vape in the Pearl District / Snob Hill part of Northwest Portland. It is hella snobby, so it's like, yeah. Gotta spit again. Yeah, there's one more thing I should have done. I ate my titty Skittles. I've been on estrogen like 6 years now. I need to have breast surgery now because it's like I've got the most bang for my buck with the estrogen 2 years ago. I mean, the first 2 years of it, even if there was disruptions by then, I was fine. Time for that surgery. I also need laser hair removal for my face. That would be wonderful for me.
And another video from the point of view of Xochitl talking down to other alters.
Girls. I've given you multiple warnings to get off of trolley problem memes. But no, you wouldn't listen to me. You disregarded my authority. You tied up Isobel and my time for over an hour. And now I have to pull the lever. You shouldn't disobey Mr. Sochi. And we have enough problems right now. Okay, brain riot over. Everybody get the fuck out.
After allegedly being told you didn't belong in Portland, ADF posted this video.
People need to knock off this "you're not welcomed in this city or in this state" bullshit with these call-out culture crap. Just no. If that's like a death sentence for trans women, so please knock it off. And I've been told by so many people who have abused call-out culture that I'm not welcomed in Portland, Oregon. Well, welcome to my apartment, and it's in Portland. So, fight me if you want to bring a fight over this, okay? Bye!
She revealed in a post that her first alter, Amaterasu, had passed away, saying that she was found by another alter, Xochitl, and that she had a fatal hemorrhagic stroke. She claimed that this death marked the third death in her system this year. She also reveals that she sleeps in arm distance of a crowbar, and claimed that the reason she has her own name, Isobel, tattooed on her is because she often forgets what it is, due to dissociation. During this time, she streamed her entire travel coming back from California after taking her stuff out of storage. This resulted in over 2 hours of video.
The bus kind of tends to jerk and rock a little bit as we accelerate. This is an old bus, it's a 12. Jerks, you'll just get a little taste of what the original Greyhound buses used to be like. Please sit back and relax, have a great trip, and thank you for riding Greyhound.
Okay. Long day. Paid all my bills, paid the rent, and now I'm headed to Oakland. Long ass day. This is Izzy hell. Vicky's telling me that Facebook stickers are still gay. I've been on this bus so many times on the same exact schedule. I dream this ride in my sleep half the time. Yeah, rub it in, Vicky. I know I can't drink on the bus. It's against federal DOT regulations. Girlfriend messaging me on Messenger, teasing me how she can have vodka and I can't because I'm on the bus. This trip is a little different because it's like, okay, my girlfriend already misses me and I have someone to come home to now, and a home to come to. I'm hoping to get some nap time in between Eugene and Reading. Hi Eugene friends, wherever you are, I'm passing through. Honestly, this video doesn't really do justice. You have to really be on the bus to see all the good stuff. I'm hoping to have another bus trip to ferry more stuff out of Oakland next month. So I'm gonna keep plugging the You Caring for donations all November, and hopefully I have enough money for a December run, either in early December or cutting close to Yule/Christmas. Help me rebuild my life. Help me move stuff from California. Donate so I can take more awesome road trips like this. I want to visit Eugene, just for the hell of it, not just passing through on Greyhound all the time.
Thank you for riding Greyhound.
So this will be the last live Facebook feed of the night involving roads until I leave Sacramento, where it will be like daylight and you can see Interstate 80. And I'm gonna cut the video after the exit with Goshen, Crestwell, Oregon 58. A little story behind that road. This was 3 years ago with TWAC, 2013, TWAC Cascadia, the action camp where I was accused of murder of my ex-boyfriend. Really, he just got lost and got high on pot brownies. My friends were driving me back to Portland after, hella ableism and trans misogyny by the action camp organizers. We were driving Oregon 58 and we were about to get near I-5. Come across this flashing light sign and we're like, what kind of sign is that? I'm like, maybe it just warns the presence of fedoras in the area. And about 5 minutes later, we got pulled over by the Oregon State Police for speeding. We were doing 72 and a 45, and I was kind of chuckling in the back seat because, state trooper's hat. Another weird thing was my friend left his tobacco tin on the top of the car from TWAC. We were driving at high speed with the tin still on the top of the car, and it never fell off. So, yeah, that was a very interesting night for the ride home back to Portland with some Marilyn Manson blasting in the car. Kale and Ruby were awesome driving me home. Thank you again for doing that. Still, I don't think there was a way I would be able to carry Michael Sandel and his 270-pound butt in the woods. And usually dead bodies get heavier within the first hour of killing them. Oops, did I say that out loud? Right now my screen says your connection is weak. Going to be a very rural and desolate section of the 5. So yeah, Highway Oregon 58 holds some special memory for me and a couple of my friends. And my connection's gonna drop, so yeah, TWAC Cascadia 2013, where all in one day I got accused of murder and My friends got a speeding ticket and I predicted the presence of fedoras and we got pulled over by a cop. What a day that was. Never forgetting it. So this is the commute I'm going to be making regularly to Oakland to get my stuff up to Portland. It's a long 650-mile ride, and I need help to keep paying for this. That's what my U-Caring is for. You can tell I've taken this route too many times to know where I'm at any given spot on this trip. My next Greyhound ticket, if I do it early enough, will be another $162, so I can rescue more stuff out of Oakland and have it home with me and my girlfriend in Portland. I really enjoy using Facebook Live because it's now showing people that my struggle is real, getting off the streets and stuff, showing people video of me live. Hey, I'm heading towards Oakland to get more of my stuff back up north to Oregon. And not all of my trip is going to be moving stuff. I'm going to see a friend or two because I need a couple days to recoup from being on the road several hundred miles, and then I got to do it all again in a couple days. Some of the most beautiful scenery going through, I wouldn't call it a mountain pass, but just this valley is beautiful. Answer to Cap, this isn't a vacation trip, this is a moving stuff trip, and that's why I keep plugging away my U-Caring donation fundraiser 3 times a day on my Facebook. This is the best view of the freeway, this little dip here crossing this tiny little valley. And right there is my storage place in Emeryville, just passing it, Extra Space Storage. We'll be visiting that place later today. When I first moved to Oakland, this new span of the Bay Bridge just opened not even 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm dating myself. And of course we're hitting some stop and go traffic. The ass end of AM rush. I remember being stuck in traffic heading to my appointments in Lion Martin on this bridge and being like, ride a bike please, ride a bike please, ride a bike please to every car stuck in traffic as the bus rolled by. Maybe in a future trip to San Francisco, I'm gonna show you all my old sleeping spots when I was houseless in the city. Build, 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 build. Fucking capitalism. Fucking tech workers too. Francisco. Driving up all the fucking rents and pushing us poor, queer, and trans folks further and further out of the Bay Area. Don't let this be your neighborhood. Fight against gentrification today.
She had entered a suicide pact with her girlfriend Victoria, saying, "If myself, Isabel Rosa Araujo, and Victoria cannot stomach living under a fascist fuck called Donald J. Trump, we do have a plan, and said plan is classified for our reasons, for ending both our lives, so long as the both of us come to mutual consensus in agreeing on the specifics, the method and when it happens, and what needs to be done prior to completion of our suicides. This mutual rule assures neither one of us survives. We both go. No one survives the grief of losing one another, nor is burdened with the task of explaining to police what happened. Simple. When we both go, both of us go. No survivors. This plan will likely executed when our ability to survive, income and healthcare has been explicitly threatened by the powers that be. White people voted for Trump. We vote for MAD. The President-elect and my biological father have one thing in common. Both are rapists." She also posted, "To honour Elizabeth Wave's call to fight fascism, I intend to fall asleep with my combat boots on tonight as I lie down, because I want to boot the Kiwi fuckers if they come tonight and attempt a home invasion. A proper Antifa boot party, with a baseball tonight if they try." Mentioning the group Antifa for the first time. She also encourages cis women to get estradiol, spironolactone, to give to trans women who cannot get it themselves. ADF and Victoria had a fallout during this time, which ended with Victoria looking for new accommodation and unfriending ADF. However, despite this, Victoria still lived in ADF's accommodation from this point on. Trolls mailed ADF adult diapers. In response, ADF said she would put the diapers away for future use on age play kink clients, referring to her sex work. After a suicide of a trans woman, ADF posted, "Public service announcement. Amanda Waite, Lizzie's ex, is actively working with Kiwi Farms and has basically pinned all the blame for her death on Trans Lifeline when it was KF and their fascist and trans-misogynistic ilk that did most of the damage. Furthermore, she's ableist and literally smack-talked about her in defence of her collusion. Avoid her, ban her, report her, do whatever. Lizzie's memory doesn't deserve this." Also, an unpopular opinion, Amanda Waite murdered Elizabeth Waite. So much evidence suggests serious foul play and cover-up. Amanda Waite and Kiwi Farms just need to be brought up on accessory to murder charges. She was temporarily banned on Facebook for this post. However, her account was restored soon after. And she posted with her new bike, who she called her daughter bike, Maria Jose Arajo Valamir, aka Bruhamoville. After a news report says that on campus Trump fans need a safe space, ADF responded, "No safe spaces for fascists. You voted for him, you supported him, you deal with the consequences and Antifa hooligans that will crash your Trump shit. Also, if you host Milo Yiannopoulos to speak at your campus, we will crash that shit too." ADF also claimed that she was asexual and that more into kink than sex. After a post was shared about how autistic women are treated, ADF responded, "Tired of autistic men using their neurodivergence as an excuse for their crass misogyny and entitlement, almost entirely at the expense of autistic women. This shit's constant and pervades pretty much all mixed autistic spaces." She also drew Atlan's borders and claimed her alters were arguing with each other. "Some of the alters think Vicky is going to abandon me. Zocchi has been busy setting them straight that that's not true." She was also one of the winners of a roller skating relay championship in the area. She received a letter about City of Portland art tax and posted a photo of her middle finger up against it, saying, "Honestly, I'm not going to pay this. A $35 per person art tax, so much nope. I will take a lighter to it then. Just like my $600 fare evasion ticket I have with Multinoma when I was houseless in 2013. Sue me, get in line." She shared a positive interaction where a cis guy talked to her and helped her out in finding the right flashlight. In response, she posted, "Validation and love please. I need to make sense of what happened earlier today. I guess my fear of me right now is letting my guard down around cis guys. I don't not think that I did that in the interaction, but I guess things are turning around a bit towards more positive interaction with cis guys. Help, please." After sharing an article on sex trafficking, she said, "Stop conflating human trafficking with sex work. When you do so, you are harming both those of us who do sex work voluntarily and trafficking survivors/trafficked people. Just stop." She also showed a comparison photo with her 2007 self, saying, 2007, would shop at GameStop. 2017, would Molotov at GameStop. 10 years of political radicalization, transition and houselessness changed shit. After a user on Kiwi Farms mentioned killing a person who gave Christian $1,500 with a bomb, and another accused ADF being them. ADF posted this. "For those who didn't hear in the front and the back, Kiwi Farms made a bomb threat against me in their CWC sub-forum." She wrote a post about feelings of anxiety she was having around her surgery, saying, "I'm having trouble today trying to convince myself that I still want my vaginoplasty surgery, which is tentatively scheduled for late May 2018. Barely 2 weeks ago, I'd finally got my amended birth certificate from my birth state of New Jersey. I'm legally, in the eyes of the government, a woman, as the BC now says, female on it. And, all honestly, I'm questioning whether or not I should still go forward with vaginoplasty. I sacrificed immensely for my orchiectomy surgery back in March 2016, managed to navigate and, yes, lie through the gatekeepers of Leon Martin and UCSF to get this surgery, while still houseless in Oakland at the time, and with little outside help in terms of social support structure, all during a time of serious harassment and bullying, and even threats of violence against me from Kiwi Farms. Last time I checked, downstairs dysphoria is still a thing. My trauma from my sexual assault 20 years ago is still a factor in me, still motivating towards wanting vaginoplasty. Maybe it's the lull before the 20th anniversary. My father sexually assaulted me on July 4, 1997, when I was 11. Probably be Father's Day weekend. I'll be seriously back in full force, wanting the destruction of my unwanted penis. I'm only merely tolerating its existence, knowing full well that clock is ticking. Give it time, Izzy. After Mazzoni sent ahead, Nurit Shine resigned due to allegations of racial bias and ineffective leadership. ADF posted, "You are an embarrassment to the trans community. 1111." Nurit Shine directed towards me after I had been participating in a demonstration against the 2012 Equality Forum for featuring Israel. Still have memories of that night. I didn't forget about what she said. She needed to go in 2012. She needs to go now in 2017. Nurit Shine is a violent, transmisogynistic former colonel of the IDF. She needs to go. Robin Markelsaurus and I circulated a petition calling for her resignation way back in 2012 after this exact bullshit incident I described. On Mother's Day, she made a post reading, "Mother's Day is this weekend. I'm not going to be active here for the next couple of days because of said holiday. I plan to have a bit of time doing whatever I enjoy doing. I have a toxic mother. She was not the physically and sexually abusive parent like my father. She has a history of transmisogyny and ableism that I'm still working on trying to get her accountable for when she raised me. My 5+ years of houselessness is the direct result of her trying to financially exploit me out of having a transition early on in late 2010, early 2011. I am demi-estranged from my mother, who lives across an entire continent away from me. She is in Philadelphia. I'm in Portland, Oregon. Any further away from my family, I've been in Alaska, but I'm in Oregon. Yes, we still talk to each other, but it is still sporadic and distant between phone calls. So the mother-daughter relationship is very much on life support. She's not been doing her part in helping me out with rebuilding from 5+ years of houselessness. This is no surprise to me. Time is running out. I'm revisiting the idea of cutting ties with her again. I cut ties with her immediately after the Pulse Orlando massacre. Lack of accountability from her and lack of support from her trying to rebuild from houselessness is putting this issue back to front burner. I'm still clawing out for whatever I need to remain housed permanently and to keep my apartment in a livable state. I still need a vacuum cleaner. I was promised one a while back, but to no avail. I still need a microwave oven. Current one died while I was away in Oakland, so you can fundraise link in the comments section. A Kiwi Farms user tried to get a photo of ADF during this time. She claimed that she chased his ass down a couple blocks and he tripped over the sidewalk. I then proceeded to delete off the photo and returned his phone with a warning not to do that again. Trust me, had the incident happened in an area not busy with police traffic, I would have beat the shit out of him given the opportunity. I chose not to because he was actively trying to bait me into getting arrested. I saw through his acts. And given the track record so far of how much support I receive on my You Caring fundraiser, I doubt many of you will haul ass together to set up a bail and legal defence fund while I sit in a Multnomah County jail cell. So support me in the same vein and spirit you're extending to Sophie LaBelle and a signed mail. Thank you. Also, my You Caring fundraiser is linked in the comment section of this commentary. Standing with Sophie LaBelle, a webcomic artist that was also harassed by Kiwi Farms. She claimed that the reason she stopped attending anime and comic conventions is because cis otakus are fucking trans misogynists, and that she hadn't attended any since 2010, giving economic reasons and saying that they pose a serious stalking and security risk, that the anime fan in her died in 2011. She also writes a long post about a war between Australatina and Trump's America, ending the post with the sentence, "I wrote this shit up this morning. I have no life." To celebrate 480 days since her orchiectomy, she did a photo shoot, uploading pictures to Tumblr of her penis and scrotum. She also revealed what her alter Xochitl looked like, and created a Facebook page from her perspective. ADF posted a tour of Israel that she claims Xochitl went on, whilst ADF herself was on house arrest. Neither of these really happened. Since this altar was Jewish, ADF celebrated Hanukkah with her. She also posted a picture of herself on the toilet, calling herself a Tran on the can, and uploaded more of her drawings of bicycles to DeviantArt from her houseless years. After actress Rose McGowan got in an argument with a trans woman about recent comments she made on the trans movement, ADF responded, "I want every gun we have to fire on that TERF." When confronted about this in the comments, ADF said, "TERFs are fascists and deserve no quarter nor platform for their ideas. If you disagree, leave." She then posted more art from around this time, focusing on her anarchism and pro-Palestinian views. During this time she also got 3 lines tattooed on her nose. On the 25th of May, ADF claimed she had gotten her vaginoplasty and posted a lot of photos of her new vagina. She also posted photos of herself with weapons, saying, 10 years of organised cyberstalking and cyberbullying, now packing heat. Kiwi Farms, I am an anarchist trans woman of my word. She also posted, I will once again summarise my reaction to the ICE atrocities against undocumented immigrant children that's been happening since Obama. Every ICE agent deserves a fucking bullet to each of their heads for the concentration camps and the children they are trafficking and sexually abusing. Do more than just abolish ICE. The blood of these children is on every American citizen's hands. ICE agents are Nazis. ICE agents do not deserve to breathe the same air as other human beings because they are committing genocide. She also posted a 10-year history of her online harassment. She ends this by writing off, trying to make ADF a serious threat again. On August 4th, she joined an Antifa-led counter-protest against the right-wing group Patriot Prayer. After attending, she posted, Antifa is coming for Ted Wheeler. Since some of you vaguely are aware, I risked my life, limb and liberty fighting fascists on August 4th on the streets of Portland. I am a committed anti-fascist and I do counter-demonstrate white supremacists and nationalists. Joey Gibson, Patriot Prayer and the Proud Boys are no exception. And of course, the Portland Police Bureau almost fucking killed 2 protesters with concussion grenades. So yeah, my week has been rent with protests in Portland. This is me at the police accountability protests at Portland City Hall on Wednesday. No tolerance for fash apologism, bootlicking / police defending comments. She also got Antifa themed neck and chest tattoos during this time, as well as a teardrop tattooed on her face. Australatina became a canon country in Chris Chan's Sonichu comic lore. This happened because trolls convinced Chris that Australatina and her own fictional land, Quickville, were real in their own dimension and currently at war. She mourns the suicide of Kiwi Farms trolling victim Chloe Segal, posting, Still grieving Chloe Segal. Sunday will mark 2 months since Chloe Segal was driven to suicide by Kiwi Farms fascists. I am still grieving, I am still angry, I am still hurting. I want violent revenge against KF. I need, not want, fucking need to arrange and cathartically shoot guns off again. After John McCain, the US Senator who famously featured in ADF's art, passed away, ADF posted, John McCain is dead. Rest in peace, you fucking US imperialist war criminal. Sincerely, Isobel Arouja Nieves, the trans woman who drew Sasuke Uchiha capping John McCain 10 years ago, and the right-wing / fash internet has had their collective undies in a bunch since then, against me. She was also screened as a bipolar person. On Xochitl's Facebook, she posted the Arabic song Nasheem Nasheed. She said that she has been playing and replaying. I am certain it's Palestinian, as it mentions Al-Aqsa, an occupier, in the lyrics. Nasheed for a while, as a favourite on my YouTube recently. Disclaimer, in case Mossad watches this page, MXNND does not support Hamas. We are more pro-Fatah, PFLP, sections of Palestinian liberation. Also, Netanyahu, end the fucking blockade and siege on Gaza. After the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting of October 2018, ADF posted, Xochi and I, controversial take, Pittsburgh, from 2 disaffected and angry Jews who are politically anarchist / Antifa. Hi, I am guessing that you want Xochi and I to weigh in on today's tragedy in Pittsburgh. We would rather fucking not, but okay. Because if we say something, we will fucking get criticism. And we don't, we will be seen as somehow uncaring. We'll just have to pass on anything outside of thoughts and prayers to all of the victims' families and the affected community. We won't stand for this horrific acts of violence. That's all we should have. And this goes really without saying, but we will throw it out there because we are bulking up and expecting it somehow. We are absolutely going to shut down anyone who is going to manipulate the tragedy for political ends. We are not going to bootlick Israel and Zionism because all of a sudden the United States of America is not safe for Jewish people. Xochi's already getting bullshit over her anti-Zionist political views. Oh yeah, Xochi and I are effectively banned from entering the State of Israel for our pro-Palestinian and far-left views. We are definitely not going to support more fucking gun control legislation. And get the fuck out of here with calling the AR-15s an assault rifle. It's a civilian model of the M16. You can't go fully auto on it, semi-auto only. So please, kindly fuck off with more calls for gun control. Zocchi and I today are highly conflicted with remaining in the Jewish faith. Both of us haven't made it official yet, but we are going in the direction of leaving. Zocchi has verbalised leaving Judaism for good, after almost 39 years. I myself have had a pretty complicated relationship with Judaism, and well, I'll be the other shoe dropping in due time, when Zocchi's made a decision. And no, we do not really want and care for more security at synagogues. Those with too much security are inaccessible as is, and we are pretty much feel excluded from such spaces. Zocchi is not supportive of the idea of having either our weaponry confiscated or checked up on entering the building, cause fuck checkpoints. So much feels to navigate with today's news. TLDR, Zionist bootlickers and gun control losers, kindly fuck off, don't manipulate the tragedy for your political ends. Just no, no, no. I'm posting that she was going to be carrying a bigger knife tomorrow and every day from now on. Your president, your mess. Just a reminder, if you ever see a cis person harassing a trans person in a public bathroom, it's perfectly okay to engage in a civil exchange of fisticuffs. Bathroom floors are designed to clean up easily. There are no cameras. Literally, just go apeshit. Cheers. Oh dear. Kiwi Farms are threatening to home invasion me. Too bad I sleep on a full queen-size bed in the living room, converted to the barracks. Armoury with a full good firing sight on the front door. Also, don't these basement dwelling shits know I sleep strapped? This will be fun. She also declared that she was the Antifa Prime Minister, a title she would claim often, posting about the work she does for Antifa. She also declared that she had a transphobic neighbour who verbally and physically tried to start shit with me. I went collapsible baton out on him and he got a big warning. Buckle up. 1 year to the date after trying to physically go after my partner and stalking my girlfriend's car. Send bail money if I get arrested. On her DeviantArt, she published her promise that she will keep as an anti-fascist. Just a friendly reminder, Antifa until I die, I mean it. Also my personal pledge to Portland, or wherever I will live after Portland, I will physically fight fascists until killed in action. Severe combat industry resulting in permanent physical disability or maximum military age, which is considered too old to be in military combat. Sunday's leaked White House memo for stripping transgender people of their civil rights is in no shape or form shaking any my determination for fighting fascism. Signed, this soldier. P.S. to Kiwi Farms, yeah you fuckers, sometimes people need a reminder that I still want fucking payback for 10 years of organised cyberstalking by right-wing internet trolls. I do not mind dying for a cause I believe in. One can call it martyrdom. I will call it serving the oppressed and marginalised people. The question I ask to you is, are you mentally prepared for a civil war to rip the so-called United States apart? I know I am. Been wanting it since I was 12, thanks my abusive nationalistic father for changing things forever. And after InfoWars were filming in Portland, she posts holding a middle finger up to them saying, fuck InfoWars, alt-right fash, patriot prayer, paparazzi, harassing the Yellow Vest PDX protests at Portland Sunday Market. A long thread was written by her saying, I used to be really happy where I live, now I'm dependent as fuck. Between a transphobic downstairs neighbour and a rather apathetic property manager company not caring what happens to me and my partner, I really want a major clash with the capitalist landlord class. I'm basically in a state of mind where I simply want to accelerate every conflict under capitalism that besets me. This is coming from a trans woman who's been living with organised cyberstalking for 10 plus years. The problem does not go away by ignoring it. I made the mistake once of ignoring the threat against me, and it made me houseless in 2011, and it got me assaulted in December 2012. My enemies don't want to back off. I won't back off anymore. 2019 will be the year for insurrection and accelerationist tactics. She also posts, if you're refusing to give money to someone who needs it because they might buy what you deem unnecessary for them, you're probably a piece of shit. After Fox News ran a story about the journalist Andy No being targeted by Antifa, ADF responds in the comments, fuck Andy No. He was immediately ejected out of Chapman Square by the Antifa super soldiers of my own proud city for harassing the black bloc. She also made more posters saying, a fascist worked out today, did you? Kiwi Farms commented about this saying that she did not work out. She posted a video of her running saying, my internet stalker bros at Kiwi Farms insist I am out of shape. I think a £217 Latinx trans girl can and will totally be able to plough Flash down pretty good. She also reveals that she wants to see her mum one last time before shit hits the fan in the USA and such travel across the US becomes more difficult. also wanting to rescue old artwork and a sword collection. She said they had not had the best relations, but understood why she's in Antifa. A video is also made about ADF by YouTuber Neckbeardia TTS.
This video is a bit of a mess, though ADF is a fucking mess, so I suppose it keeps with the theme.
This video mostly consisted of a text-to-speech reading of ADF's Lolcow wiki page. At the end of the year, she made one final post about 2018, saying, "You were mostly good to me. About 1/2 to 2/3 of the time. There were victories, there were fuck-ups, there were ceasefires, there were insurrections, there were more growing effects. There was GRS surgery, Antifa comrades, resurgent emo/pop-punk musical taste. Initially to get through the pre-surgery electrolysis sessions I had twice a week, January to May. An ever-darkening wardrobe, a growing arsenal of weaponry, and meaningful alliances and friendships to break years of social isolation and stigma warped by 10 years of organised cyberstalking, terrorism and 5+ years of houselessness. And this year gave me a serious nuclear option to deal with Kiwi Farm stalker bros if they act on their home invasion threats against me. May 25th, GRS surgery, and August 4th, Antifa versus Patriot Prayer and Portland Police were dates that forever changed me. No more downstairs dysphoria and no more law-abiding citizen acts. Antifa until I die. But you didn't do anything, or enough, about the transphobic downstairs neighbour below me, worst abusive cis dude since my father, BTW, or the apathetic property manager company that doesn't give a fuck until I suddenly acted in self-defence against said transphobic neighbour, or Patriot Prayer and Proud Boys and Hayley Adams continue to invade Portland every few or couple of weeks, or by worsening unspecified bipolar depression symptoms as faller wives. All my body dysmorphic problems, although downstairs dysphoria was dealt with. My financial poverty also worsened under capitalism. From GRS surgery recovery needs to out of control / outrageous water / sewage / trash bills, to growing self-defence needs to continue to exist in a society that hates transgender women. Institutional distrust reached an all-time high for the state and agents of capitalism. This year also taught me to sacrifice for great outcomes, step up and put my body on the line, welcome death and have unstigmatised discussion around death. Let's face it, some fash will try to kill me in the future if they are ideologically determined enough. This year was also a year of education, from insurrectionist anarchism to nihilism to firearms training and safety to tactics to rocketry to economics and yes, to criminality. I gave 2018 a 6 out of 10. Highest score would have been given if something were done about the transphobic downstairs neighbour. It also sucks that Australatina is having a limited scale civil war, but there's been no shortage of urban riots and insurrections, so Australatina, as a state, is on shaky ground. 2019 will be better. I gotta get ready for the fall of so-called United States and South Africa and Australatina. Last AGDR's better off this way. She also revealed that she was having post-surgery nerve pain and believed that the United States will have some sort of violent insurrection, civil war, or a series of small civil wars in the next 18 to 24 months. She frequently argued with Kiwi Farms about the fact that she sleeps in the living room and whether or not she sleeps on a sofa or a bed. She claimed that she converted the so-called living room into the goddamn Antifa barracks. Now if a certain website didn't make these lovely threats of home invasion early on, as soon as I get permanent housing, yeah, let's overlook that. Also, by the logic of calling my queer platonic girlfriend elderly, does that make me middle-aged? Asking for myself, because I am 33, going to be older than Jesus Christ, 34 in August. Also, 5 years of houselessness. I actually did develop claustrophobia and a very altered hot/cold tolerance sleeping in a typical bedroom. Back on point, I sleep in the so-called living room because of external threats. No thanks to KF and, well, my decivilised ass. Sucks to be bested out by an Antifa super soldier and anarcho-communist. I share my apartment consensually with my queer platonic girlfriend because sharing is caring. Make good on your threats to home invade. For once, over 2 years now, I have a surprise if you do it. She revealed that she also sleeps with a balaclava over her face every night. After the US Supreme Court announces they are going to ban transgender people from entering the military, ADF posts, I guess I now have, once again, zero hang-ups of the idea of killing US troops, instead of near zero hang-ups in the event of a civil war in the United States. I really care not how many cis soldiers go home in body bags. If they serve Trump, they will die. After all, the United States military is a professional volunteer force. There is no conscription for the cis cannon fodder to fight America's wars for oil and capital extraction. Therefore, one makes a choice to fight America's wars under Trump. For days and days, liberal cis people and their corporate media is going to make it about civil rights for us trans people. Sorry, I pass on killing black and brown people for America's empire capitalist interests, or any future illegal orders to hurt other US citizens. To sum up the words of one of my comrades, soon enough, it'll be no gays in the military again. And you know what? Good. Let the empire suffocate. I could not agree more. The American taxpayers' money funds all this bullshit wars, ICE, etc. Let the empire suffocate. After more Kiwi Farm threads about her apartment, she posted, "Dear Kiwi Farms, I am reading your threads. You are not going to successfully home invade my apartment. You are going to get your asses handed to you. I have the nuclear option for dealing with organised cyber stalking shits. If you show up on my front door, keep dreaming." It's almost as if they really want to get that ass handed to them by this trans Latinx girl Antifa or some shit. Spoiler alert, the result. After Trump says
that America will never be a socialist country,
she says, "I agree. If socialism is going to happen, America is not going to exist, first and foremost. It's a white supremacist settler state that must be destroyed and dismantled by any means necessary." Libertarian socialism intensifies. "Nowhere have I ever said America will ever survive as a state if red and black flag is planted on the ruins of Washington. Anti-communism, anti-Semitism and white chauvinism go hand in hand. As Antifa Prime Minister, there will be socialism." In response to her crowdfunding posts, Kiwi Farms user Tragitan says, "I can think of another payment platform. It's called Get a Job, Potato Face." ADF responded, "Now, before anyone screeched at the top of their lungs, get a job. Okay, say I do get a job. Kiwi Farms do everything in their power to get me terminated from employment, so I have no other options available to me than the complete destruction of the capitalist system." 10 years of organised cyberstalking is going to violently shift someone's overturned window to the far left. Yet they complain that I am a communist. Well, insurrectionist anarchist now, and bemoan the days I was just a liberal and a not out closet case trans girl. I also laugh harder when Kiwi Farms complains that I am Antifa. Yeah, it's almost as if 10 plus years of organised cyberstalking terrorism by KF and their predecessors 2008 to 9 kind of served as a recruitment poster for me to be committed to the anti-fascist cause. I am 33 years old, a disabled Latinx trans woman, and I advocate for the abolition of the wage system, the abolition of work, the abolition of state and capitalism. I am an insurrectionary anarchist. I am ready to die fighting fashion in my home, so-called Portland. She also claimed that she would like to undergo an experiment where she's held captive and have to resist interrogation tactics and torture. Also posting, "Right-wingers should not be the only ones with guns," and "Save a life, kill a Kiwi Farm cyberstalker." After being told that Kiwi Farm's posts about home invasions were just intended as jokes, she responded, "Bullshit. My offer still stands. Fuck around with me in Portland and find out what survivor of almost 11 years of organised cyberstalking has in store for her oppressors. This will require leaving your mum's basement." On the 1st of March 2019, she created a new blog page with an entry reading, "The black-clad Antifa trans femme behind this blog." In this blog, she starts going by AD, as to not reveal it was her who wrote it. She wrote, "Have you ever had that one friend with a dark past, dystopian present day, because the dark past and an outlook for the future that is nihilistic yet filled with insurrection? Hi, that's me. I am AD. My real name is not used on social media to protect my identity. The meaning to the initials to my pseudonym are only known to my close anarchist comrades and affinity groups. It will be 11 years this summer I was targeted by the far-right elements of the internet for my leftist political views. The year was 2008. 4chan, Encyclopedia Dramatica all targeted me because they were ass hurt. I drew a cartoon of their political candidates getting capped by one of my favourite cartoon characters of all time. I drew Arizona Senator John McCain getting capped in the back by Sasuke Uchiha. I was 22/23 years old, and teenagers and young adults do foolish things all the fucking time. The right wing to this day, and now the far right, alt-right, has a target painted on my back to mark me for bodily harm or even death. All before I came out trans in 2010, this dead horse has been beaten over me many times, no matter where I live, my actions, and no, I will not apologise for them. Fuck McCain, he's dead now in 2019. Caught the attention of the biggest troll of them all, the federal government of the United States. On 28th August 2008, the US Secret Service, along with state and local law enforcement, raided my then home in the Philadelphia suburbs of New Jersey, under threat of arrest and imprisonment. The feds seized my computer and drawings. That August day is a day I've tried to forget about, and at times, at my worst mental health crises in the past, I've tried to drink, drug overdose and end my life over my ongoing cyberstalking problem. I've been suffering since, which has worsened significantly since Gamergate, no thanks to the fuckers at Kiwi Farms. I also suffered the trauma of houselessness as a transfer from 2011 to 2016, a trauma I am barely removed from to this day. Since houselessness ended, and the ongoing organised cyberstalking terrorism against me continuing into its 11th year, I am making my various alliances with anti-fascists and anti-capitalists in Portland, Oregon. One meeting at a time, away from prying eyes of the state and the lateral surveillance of my cyberstalkers. I also live in serious poverty, less than $10,000 a year annually on disability, and somehow the bourgeoisie expect me to budget or other unsolicited financial advice. Fuck off, don't care, I want to abolish capitalism and the state. I am deeply anarcho-communist. To set the tone of this blog, this place is not for weak constitutions. I advocate for the overthrow of the government and the capitalist system I am forced to exist under. I could care fuck less if I die in revolution. I welcome a martyr's death in that regard. With rage, the Crime Minister of Antifa. ADF relationship with Victoria became more strained due to ADF's ownership of a firearm. Victoria became worried that one of her alters would use the gun to kill herself due to the fact that she had DID. She also said that ADF being messy made herself a messy person and they would argue about the state of the house, as well as concern about ADF eating her food. She began looking to move out. On her Twitter, ADF posted, "Kiwi Farms now has a new tactic up their sleeve. They are desperately trying to get me evicted from my own apartment and are waging a proxy war through my transphobic downstairs neighbour. I live with this every fucking day." Again, never had I dealt with an enemy so desperate. Posting a drawing of what she looks like now, claiming she drew it in 2013. After her Twitter was suspended, ADF posted on her DeviantArt, "Dear Kiwi Farms, shutting down my main Twitter account was basically shooting yourselves in the foot. Kicking me off the last of my mainstream social media might be an inconvenience to me short term. Long term, the Lolcow you have had the biggest hate boner for, after CWC, since 2008, has Antifa comrades that will help me out offline. Driving me underground has its risks and rewards. The latter will definitely happen. You will have a harder time tracking the people who support me financially. After all, this terrorist has work to attend to. It's not a 9-to-5 job. You may have already just assured your demise of your website. May an anarchist flag fly upon the ruins of your servers." After a user on Kiwi Farms said that she never held a job longer than 2 weeks, ADF responded, "Alright, now I guess this one is worthy of a thread, since I did have a part-time job, and it was my first job, for 8+ years, from March 2002 until August 2010. Never held a job longer than 2 weeks. So how times does 2 weeks go into 8 years and 6 months? KF can't math, since they do love to screed at the top of their lungs until they choke, 'Get a job!' and that jazz. So, if I made a good faith effort to get sustained gainful employment again, W/E job it be. Would my cyber-stalking shitbags, in turn, lay down the sword they hold against me, given their record of never letting up on their targets? No, I do not believe selling my labour to a capitalist boss is ever going to put a lasting end, snaps finger, to the years of organised cyber-stalking I have been dealing with. Not going to happen like that. My economic reality is this. I am on disability due to long under-addressed mental health issues. I was told there would be no insurance coverage to mitigate/deal with when I was working. Then 2010 came along and I made the decision to come out trans femme. Yes, I did quit my job in late 2010. My job was not a conducive environment for fixing my mental health shit. If I didn't leave when I left in 2010, once house-sitters started in February 2011, I would have been fired for transitioning the longer I stayed. So, should I have just stayed in the closet until the right time, or whatever causes and conditions were in play? I believe that my mental health issues were not going to allow for more waiting. It's been said before, waiting only teaches waiting. I don't want to wait. So I maintain the position of, yes, I am part of the working class. I was when employed for 8 years. I still am now. I was in poverty when I was working, and I am in more poverty today. So yes, I want to destroy capitalism. It nearly killed me multiple times. This lecture all started over a patch on one of my black hoodies. So basically, Kiwi Farm cyberstalking shitbags are foaming at the mouth like rabid fascist dogs that this insurrectionist anarcho-communist trans femme has a sense of belonging in the working class, even being on disability. I'm not anti-having a job ever, I simply can't hold employment under the current for-profit capitalist system. Never mind the transmisia from Kiwi Fash and their predecessors stomping me in the face for 10 plus years for simply existing. Trust me, I want to work again. I want all my needs met, physical and mental health. This includes gender affirmative healthcare, by the way, food security, housing as a human right, not as a commodity to extract profits. So if Kiwi Farm stalking fast shitbags won't let up ever, I, the anarcho-communist trans femme, won't let up either. So this near permanent conflictuality between the far left, post-left, insurrectionary, anarcho-communist trans femme versus the centre-right to far-right Kiwi Farm cyberstalking terrorists who incited the events at Christchurch. No incentive exists for either side to attempt peace. No economic incentive, no political incentive. I guess we'll just be at it until one side or the other is destroyed, and 5 years of houselessness did absolutely little to break me, so keep fighting, Kiwi Fash. After Fox News reported that Trump cuts US aid to 3 Mexican countries, ADF responded, so Australatina and its sidecar, Nueva Grecia, are northeast Mexico? Fox News' geographic illiteracy about Latin America intensifies. Victoria had finally moved away from ADF's apartment to Michigan, leaving ADF alone. ADF also wanted to move, posting, I'm currently in the process of moving out of my first apartment that I struggled to call home since October 2016. I decided not to betray my principles on the right of self-defence for trans women against the capitalist demands of a liberal transphobe enabling landlord who already has it out to sell the property and gentrify all the residents out. Also, this girl would like to stay the hell out of county jail. I do not want to continue to stay living alone in an apartment complex where if I get violently trans-bashed again, the attackers will get killed in the process. My last day there is June 7th. I intend, as always, to stay in Portland, Oregon, hopes that I find a decent place in a relatively easy location to respond to Antifa work calls. And above all, I need to continue my duties as Antifa super soldier. Portland needs me. Random people see me every day and thank me. No truce with fascists, no truce with genderfiers, no truce with transphobes, no truce with Kiwi Farms. She started moving soon after, with her flags being the last to be packed. When throwing away the stuff sent to her by Kiwi Farms, she found a Quran, which she said that she would not throw away because I have standards. I am not no fucking Islamophobe like KF, and they're worshipping the Christchurch mosque shooter and the 50 people he killed 2 months ago. She also posted a review of her apartment saying, if you are going to live in this apartment complex as an openly queer/transgender person, I have word of advice. Carry heat. The property manager company doesn't give a rat's behind about transphobic/homophobic neighbours. I have had several incidents with a neighbour who stalks me every time I or my partner leaves the house. Some of these incidents have turned violent. If the violence and stalking doesn't affect you, ridiculously high water, sewer and trash bills will, especially if you are low income. The landlords responded, aware of the complaints that she had given, but saying that they have no record of any confrontations transpiring, and that she should let them know whenever someone breaks their noise policy. After a Trump supporter was assaulted outside a Portland bar, she posts, "Don't wear a MAGA hat in Portland. That's asking for it. 101. She also makes warning posts about right-wing journalists and videographers around Portland. One of these people was journalist Andy No.
Antifa and other far-left militants can take over the streets of downtown.
Doing this, ADF had made one final enemy, which would make her known once again across the world.